morning, everybody. Good to see you on this early Monday morning. The sun is out, and that's a positive thing.
And it's only 65 degrees.
Amen for that.
That's a really positive thing right now.
I'm looking forward to crisp fall days coming up.
Oh, not too quick, Donna. Debbie, not too quick. But I don't want the heat. I don't want that 100-degree stuff either. So anyway, well, we've had some exciting events happening at church.
Well,
Thursday night, the karaoke.
Yes, and talking about transformation. And I think that it's important that we talk about what happened on karaoke night. It was highly exciting. I mean, it was when I arrived, there was only one or two people there. And I thought, oh no, I hope this, develops. And so, and as time went on, God blessed us with many people showing up. And
19.
That's quite a few for our first effort. It's not a whole lot of advertising.
Yeah, thank you, Judy Frazon.
Yes.
She was the mastermind of that and got the equipment for us. And Tad Whitmire was her right-hand person for that, making sure that it worked and played and connected to the internet and the whole thing. But, oh my goodness.
Well, the smiles I saw in people's faces as we relived our heydays in music. It's amazing what music brings to us and what memories it brings. It brings back those warm, wonderful feelings most of the time.
Yes. And, we had, I will say half of the people there sang their own karaoke. And it was fabulous. It was actually an incredible experience.
Yes.
And we had several that sang that I connected with them in the middle of the event and said, you need to think about singing in the choir because we need you.
I actually put someone's name and phone number down to call them when the choir starts back up. So
yes.
I'm looking forward to getting in touch with her. And I made, new acquaintances, new friends through music, through food. The people who organized the food and the drink and made sure everyone was served. And I mean,
it was a well-oiled machine. And we hadn't talked about how to start the machine. So
no.
And that the lady that you connected with, and I had talked with her as well, she has a connection to the church already from probably 35 years ago. So that's a really exciting thing. So we did some outreach for new possibilities to come and be part of the church. New choir members.
I talked with her for a while because I was sitting next to her, and she said that she's excited about the things she's seeing in our church, the change she's seeing, the energy, the spiritual awakening. I think it's amazing that, she's been gone for a while and whatever reason she left, her current church home has become less of what she's been looking for. And so I think she may give us another try at some point, but she's taking a first step. So we just have to make sure and reach out with our hand and lift them up.
Yes, we do. And I don't know, Carrie, if you are on with us this morning, if you are listening or watching us later, but our very own Carrie Baker volunteered to sing a solo during worship some Sunday. That was an exciting thing too.
She did very well when she sang The Rose for us during karaoke. That was such a pleasant surprise and a lovely.
I know. And it was beautiful.
She gave us a gift of herself, and that was truly wonderful.
Yeah. So important that people are able to do that gift giving and I don't know, the whole event was just wonderful. So the first hour was people singing by themselves or duets. And Pastor Ross led us in a very fun state song. And then the last hour was we just sang as a group. And that was so much fun.
Well, not only that, we ran out of battery on the laptop, and so we had to get a different laptop, and people hung around until we got it hooked up, and we sang some more after that. I thought that was going to kill it there for a minute, but no, Tad got it put back together and it came back.
Yeah. So on to next month. We will be doing it again next month. So very, very
good. And listen for the next announcement, giving the date and time again, and we'll do it all over again, and keep thinking about your favorite songs.
Yes, because there's 60,000 songs in what we have. Yeah, 60,000 songs.
I mean, I don't know how many we sang. We probably sang, what, 20, 30 songs at least?
Yeah, at least. Yep. Good morning, Scott.
Yes, we can get in there.
Coffee.
Yeah, your favorite. You can bring your favorite. We'll have plenty of time.
We will. We will. So, and yesterday we talked about, wouldn't it be loverly? That was one of the things. And I got to thinking when I was putting some notes together for this morning, wouldn't it be loverly if the whole world lived in peace? Wouldn't it be loverly if we had the excitement and the fun that we had Thursday night at karaoke? If everybody felt that excitement.
Well, and I kind of thought that the children's message yesterday kind of talked about that with the puppets. Yes. And I thought that the puppets talked about being kind, bringing grace, and bringing peace. I mean, to not cause dissension, to build up rather than tear down. So important.
That is so very, very important. Yes, and Kathy and Karen did an excellent job with that, as did Lucy and Rufus.
I love Rufus.
I love Rufus.
Myself and Rufus.
Rufus, you could identify Rufus as someone in your life. Rufus was loud and kind of obnoxious and annoying, but you gotta love him. Yes. He was so energetic and happy. And then, you know what happened when Lucy yelled at him? And Lucy wasn't kind to him. Yeah, she kind of
deflated him,
and his spirit was gone. And that's what happens when we do that, and when we talk to people like that. So another one of my what ifs: what if people were kind to each other? What if we supported each other all the time? Because Kathy and Karen delivered that message to those 4 beautiful children, that being kind and helping is so much better, so much more rewarding for everybody than to yell or roll your eyes or toss your head around.
And even though the kids didn't talk a lot, but I think they were focused on the message. I think that it was really touching them in a way that they could relate to, because maybe that had happened to them, but they don't know how to articulate.
That is very true.
That we gave our kids a way to work through some of those difficult times, and not that their parents aren't doing that. It's just that it can never be said enough. We need to back up families and parents. We need to encourage and be a support system for families. And I think that the children's message has really been helpful in that way.
Well, and not just not just in a family setting, when they're at school or just when they're playing with friends in their neighborhood. Those are some really important things to remember: being kind and treating people with respect and sharing.
Yes.
It was wonderful. And I know I prefer to surround my people with my people. Well, that too. I prefer to surround myself with people that are happy and friendly and kind and respectful, because it just, whatever the task at hand is, it makes it so much easier, so much more enjoyable.
I agree.
It's like setting up for this basement sale that we're in the middle of. And I have to say, God bless, I don't know if I can say all their names: Kathy Kelly, Karen Kelly, Vicki Reuter, Debbie Carter, Pat Bounds, Ruby Smith. I'm going to say they have been there sorting and setting up what we could set up and putting things in rooms, which takes a huge burden off of me. And I am so grateful for that. Takes a burden off of the setup when we actually have the start of the setup this Thursday. We're so far ahead of where we were last year. It's a beautiful, well-oiled machine. And again, we didn't talk about starting the machine. So God does that.
Well, and the other thing about it is, it reminds me of our Sunday school lesson yesterday, how Peter was the rock, but he didn't know how to be the rock. But those ladies have been your rock. They didn't maybe realize they were being your rock, but there they are doing the rock thing and being the foundation of the basement sale and many other activities in the church. No. They are the foundation. Those are the people that, we have to thank for their many gifts.
Yeah. So I'll put a plug in for the sale. We're setting up Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, and then the sale starts Wednesday, July 31st, and goes through August the 3rd, Saturday. I still need quite a few people to sign up to come and help set up, and also just to be there to not work the sale, but I need eyes on the shoppers. I need eyes on to help the shoppers with finding what they're looking for, just being friendly with them. And we give every single person that comes through the door a flyer at checkout, inviting them to come and visit our church or come to our community breakfast.
Or the karaoke night.
Or now the karaoke night.
We need to remember that. And I think that kind of leads us into another topic from yesterday's sermon, the vine. The vine has many branches on it. We are the branches. And so the vine, yesterday my takeaway was the vine is divine. And without his divine help, he's the roots, the vine, and we are the branches, and we are there to bear fruit. And so we have so many examples of that in our church. The list of names could go on forever. I brought the new piano bench down to the church last Thursday, and Jack Hall and Sid were working on some kind of a air compressor thing outside, and they helped me get the piano bench in. Actually, I didn't do anything but drive up, and they took the piano bench out and put it in so it could be assembled. And there's another example of fruitful branches in the church. If we count on them to keep our church up and running, the air conditioning, the heating, the little things that need fixing that we don't even always see, the putting together of the new piano bench. I mean, that is so helpful. Nobody realizes that if you have never sat at a piano, how important the height of the bench is. Poor Donna, when she played for me, she had to sit on a hymnal So that, and it was really important so that she could get her arms up to where she could reach the keyboard easily, to where it didn't bother her, with her joints. Everybody's got aches and pains, and I was so excited for Donna, and Donna was excited, and I think Trish will be also, because she's going to be playing as well. And I'm excited that was able to happen for them, so that their service can be more comfortable and joyful.
Such a little thing.
Yes.
Such a little thing that made such a big, big difference.
But that's why the importance of the branches and the fruit.
That's right. And we just have to listen to what people need, what will be helpful to them. Like, how do we support people? How do we show that they're not alone? And I think just knowing that we needed a piano bench that was a little bit taller.
Well, and then what happened on Saturday? I mean, poor Melissa, just getting into a vehicle, she hit her head on the frame of the vehicle, and she kind of made herself a little dizzy. And I don't know whether it was a full-on concussion or just what it was, but she ended up going to the hospital. A simple incident. But there they were, the fruits and the vines. They made sure that she got to the hospital and got the treatment she needed. They made sure that they looked in on her mother, made sure mom had a meal or 2 or 5 or whatever that's going to take or look like. And people were there caring for each other. Such a lovely and wonderful example of taking care of each other and loving each other and being kind and caring. No, somebody knows that someone cares for you. But we missed her in worship. But other people have that same gift, and so we had someone step up to fill in for her while she was recovering. And so there was another gift. And keep Melissa in your prayers as she recovers and returns home.
And isn't it lovely?
Yes.
That we can take care of each other, that we can fill in for each other, support each other in so many ways.
Yes.
And I mean, that is a prime example of kindness and support and love and caring.
Well, Karen and Kathy Kelly, making sure she gets where she needed to get the care. And then all the people at the hospital that have cared for her. And then Anita Wolf, who took meals by for her mom. I mean, the list goes on, and I'm probably leaving people out, but I don't mean to. I just want to make sure that we recognize those with a servant gift and a faith gift that serve so well and go so unrecognized in many cases. We need to recognize them.
And I think that's something that there's very strong in our church, and that is the friendships that we have. Some of them are very long friendships. Some of them are very new friendships, but it's knowing that somebody is there, knowing that somebody loves and cares what happens, and will be there in a situation like with Melissa right now, to come in and help with mother, help Mary with whatever she is needing at this particular time.
Help with the audio visual slides at worship on Sunday.
Yes, I mean, it's just, I just can't say enough about how connected and how much love there is in the congregation at First Church. And yes, our church produces many, many fruits. And some of them we don't even recognize, the things that are happening, the buds of those fruits, or what seed are we planting?
Well, the gardening there in the flower bed by the elevator, that is such a thing of beauty. My friend and I, as we walk into church each Sunday, we look at the new flowers and all the things that are blooming, and how it's been weeded and watered and cared for. The hands that do all that, and then the repairs that are being made for our comfort and for
Yes.
care. I mean, it's important that we honor those people in their service.
And so the bees that are around all those beautiful flowers, I used to think they were very annoying. But you know what? They are part of the vine. They're helping produce fruit. They're helping to keep those flowers blooming for us.
Right.
And the love that we share helps keep the flowers blooming in everybody's life. And that's an important role that we all play.
Yes.
Regardless of how big or how small that is. So some of the things that we talked about too yesterday was when we make changes because we don't really want to, but we make changes because we want to be more like someone else instead of who we really are. And maybe if we need to make a big change in our life, it's always good to have a role model or a hero. But like Pastor Lydia said, we should compare ourselves to where we were yesterday, not compare ourselves to where somebody else is today. It's two totally separate things.
And the thing about it is too, the language barrier she spoke of.
Yes.
I've known many people with accents, and I love listening to them. As a musician, I think it's part of my musician training where I hear nuances, I hear different things, and I can process it in my brain. But I think sometimes if you're not used to that, and if you don't have to use that particular gift or talent in your life, you become unaware of things and maybe impatient of things. How many times have we gotten a call from somebody trying to sell us Medicare from Pakistan, and you can't understand them, and so you either are rude or you hang up on them because of the language barrier? Even though they're speaking English, it's not an English accent that your ear is tuned for. And so I have a friend that she remembers this time where she told me she and her sister were from Mexico, and they were standing in line at a Walmart somewhere and trying to check out. And so she and her sister were talking in Spanish, and someone turns around to them and says, you need to go back where you came from. I mean, right there in the Walmart checkout line, because it wasn't something they could either listen into and eavesdrop.
Right.
So maybe they felt shut out, I don't know, of someone's conversation, but you really shouldn't be part of a private conversation anyway. But so she and her sister were sharing a personal private moment, or if they were just conversing about the weather, it doesn't matter. Those people, you make them feel unwelcome. You make them feel less than. You make, even though they're maybe working very hard at learning English, you don't know.
That's true. So one of the other things that Pastor Lydia said yesterday, having an accent doesn't mean we think with an accent. And I'm sorry, Pastor Lydia, that just sent my brain off on a little tangent thinking. I did come back pretty quickly, but we don't think with an accent. And then I was like, what does that really mean? Well, it really means that we treat each other with kindness. We treat each other fairly. We don't judge people that are speaking another language in front of us. And we offer a helping hand. Yeah, wouldn't it be lovely if people didn't think with an accent? It means, just like we've been saying, it means being sympathetic. It means helping.
I'm reminded of a trip I took on an airplane. my daughter and her husband were stationed in Germany at the time, and my daughter was about to give birth, so I went over to be with her during that time. And I got on a wide body plane, and this lady that sat down next to me near the window seat, and I'm in the middle seat, and I looked over, and we were going to spend 14 hours on a plane together. So, I tried to strike up a conversation because that's just kind of who I am. And she's from Uzbekistan or one of the stands. I never was quite sure which one, and it didn't matter. And we ended up having a lovely conversation. She had been spending a month in South Carolina visiting family, and we were getting on this plane at Dulles in Washington, D.C., and getting ready to go to Frankfurt. And so we talked on and off for that whole flight, and I learned that she came from a little town and that she had lived in a town where they turned all the electricity off at 11 o'clock at night. So there was no electricity, no lights, no anything in the evenings at night. And I was talking to her, and we were in, she had been in the United States. I thought, land of the everlasting, electric, except for if you live in Texas, I guess. But anyway, anyway, I said, are you going to miss being in the United States, or are you looking forward to going home? And she says, oh, I miss home, and I can hardly wait to get home. Home is whatever it is. I mean, whether it's less than what we think it should be, because we've lived in such relative luxury compared to me. I think it brought home to me that everybody is in a different reality, and that we need to respect their reality because they love it. It's their home. It's where they're from. It's where they know everyone, and comfort and being surrounded with that. So, I mean, it was quite a learning experience for me because I was able to ask questions, and she didn't take offense at any of it. I was trying to understand, and I think she understood that I just needed a better understanding of her, where she was coming from. Having never been there, probably never will go to there, but it was nice to understand her reality.
Yes, and that's a beautiful thing, a gift that you both gave each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of another point of that we don't think with an accent. And she was probably, one of the reasons she was probably ready to be home is because her ears were tired of listening to our accent, although we don't have an accent.
Of course not.
No, we don't.
Not us.
Not us. But when we sound different or we look different than those around us, some things are obvious, like the color of our hair or the color of our skin, our nationality, whether we're male or female. Things that are passed down to us from generation to generation. And we shouldn't, and we really can't compare one to the other. So it's like, it's all about the acceptance. It's not, and how are we alike as opposed to how are we different? Does skin color really matter? No. Does nationality really matter? No. What matters is that we are all fruits of the vine. We are all working toward doing God's work.
Well, we have to look past the obvious to what is real. The obvious isn't necessarily real, because I dress a certain way and I show up someone may look at how I'm dressed and make an assumption. And that may not be who I am, but it was what I had to wear that day. Or maybe that's all that was given to me, and I'm wearing it in honor of someone. But, you can't just judge the book by its cover, I guess I mean to say.
That's very true. That is very true.
So look past the obvious.
Look past the obvious. And if you have a 14-hour flight with somebody, get to know them. It's important.
Yes.
It's important to them. It's, just just getting, I'm going to go back to karaoke, just getting to know our guests that were there and visiting with them. I would never have known that the very first person that sang, who has another church home right now, but that Debbie mentioned is not completely happy. I would never have known that she had a connection to us already. So, and our time is up, but the song that we sang yesterday, My Life is in You, Lord, I want to leave you with these words. My life is in you, Lord. My strength is in you, Lord. My hope is in you, Lord. In you, it is in you. If we could just remember those words when life gets hard, when we hear or speak that is not appropriate, we think with our accent instead of the other way around, things would be a little bit more loverly if we just remember who he is and what he does for us.
And who we are in relation to him.
And we are enough.
Yes. Well, and the thing is, who we are his children.
We are all God's children.
Yes.
So we will see you
Bye-bye
next Monday.